So today we will do optical isomerism. Before starting this particular one, I will say what are optical isomers. Optical isomers comes under stereo isomerism. You have studied in class 11 that isomerism is basically divided into structural isomerism and stereo isomerism. Stereo isomerism is three-dimensional. Structural isomerism is two-dimensional. Under structural isomerism, you have studied chain, positional, functional, ring chain, tautomers, metamers. You have studied all those things. Under stereoisomers, you have studied geometrical isomerism and optical isomerism. So this is your optical isomers. Now the compound which rotates the plane of polarized light either towards the right or towards the left are known as optically active compounds. What I said? Optical isomers are the compound which rotates the plane of polarized light either towards the right or towards the left are known as optically active compounds, and the phenomena or the process is known as optical isomerism. So we are going to study about that only, optical isomerism. It's a process we are going to study. How we will know that the given compound will rotate the plane of polarized light either towards the right or towards the left? That we are going to study. Of course, you have studied in class 11. Even I have taught you in class 11. Once more, I am saying you because it is there in this particular chapter. Once again, I am revising rather with this with you. So listen carefully here. Now, one more thing before starting, I said you the compound which which rotates a plane of polarized light either towards the right or towards the left are known as optically active compounds. The one which does not rotate are known as optically inactive compound. We can say that. Okay. Achha. Now here you can see. Now you come to this particular diagram. Now here you can see it's an ordinary light. It is vibrating in all possible directions. Ordinary light means sunlight, white light, any other light. I have passed this light through a small slit. Slit means a small pinhole. We can say that. I passed it. Then I passed it through a Nicol prism. Nicol prism. Now Nicol prism is what? It's a particular kind of prism which is made up of Iceland spar or calcite. Calcite means calcium carbonate. We can say that. Now what we are going to do is that actually naturally it is available in karst topography. This particular one in the Iceland area. Okay, naturally. Now forget about that. Now how will you prepare this particular one? Now how will you prepare it? Very simple. You take calcium carbonate, chalk or limestone, so to say. You heat it. On heating it is going to melt. Now when you are going to heat it, you heat it to critical temperature. When you are heating calcium carbonate or calcite to critical temperature, what happens is that it becomes beyond critical temperature. What it becomes is that it becomes transparent in nature. Now you take that particular liquid, the transparent liquid, and you put it in a mold. Got it? Prismatic mold you put it, and then you refrigerate it. When you refrigerate it, it will form prism. Alright. So what you do is that you take this to prism and you join it by a cementing material which is called as Skanda balsam. Cementing material means which is going to hold the two prisms together. Hence it acts as a rectangular glass block, as you can see it here. So I will pass the ordinary light through this particular Nicol prism. Alright. Now what this Nicol prism will do? It will convert the ordinary light into a plane of polarized light. This is your plane of polarized light. What is that? Now here the light is vibrating. Instead of vibrating in all possible planes, the light is vibrating in one plane only, as you can see it here. It is vibrating in one plane. So that particular light is known as plane of polarized light. The light is vibrating in one plane, we can say. Okay. Now the question is where the other plane has gone. Now you have studied in physics that when the ray of incidence, when the incident ray is more than the critical angle, then it suffers total internal reflection. So here what you can say is that the other rays of light, the other plane of light, the angle of incidence is more than the critical angle, hence it suffers total internal reflection and hence it is being absorbed in this particular Nicol prism. Only one plane of light, only one plane, not one ray, a plane of light. It consists of number of rays. A plane of light whose angle of incidence is more than the critical angle. Listen carefully. Whose angle of incidence is more than the critical angle. Instead of suffering what you can say total internal reflection, it suffers refraction and it is being pushed out of this particular prism, and hence that particular light we are getting it, which is known as plane of polarized light we are getting it. Okay. Understood now what is plane of polarized light? Light, instead of vibrating in all possible planes, it will vibrate in one plane only. We can say that. Got it? Rest of the planes will be absorbed by the Nicol prisms. Okay, now this plane of polarized light, we will pass it through a polarimeter tube which consists of the given substance. The substance which you want to know whether it is optically active or not. In the liquid state, it will be there. So we will pass it through the polarimeter tube which consists of the given substance. Now here we will take another Nicol prism. Now this Nicol prism here acts as an analyzer, because here we are going to analyze the plane of polarized light, and here this Nicol prism is called as polarizer. I have written it very clearly because it converts the ordinary light into a plane of polarized light. So hence this Nicol prism is known as polarizer, this Nicol prism is known as analyzer. After that, you are going to observe it through a microscope. Here the eyepiece means it's a microscope. You will observe it. Is going to observe it. How will you observe it? Before that, you will set the microscope. Now after setting the microscope, you will see those who have used the microscope, the bio students, they have got a crossed bar here. Alright, they have got a crossed bar here. Okay, thank you.